Well, hello, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Realness with three S's. I'm your host here, Chantele Francis, here with my lovely co-host. We have...
Jonathan Oliveira.
Hello, Jonathan. How are you doing today?
I'm good, thank you. I'm excited I know we didn't get an episode this week, but we're revisiting some stuff to talk about some things and, look into some more clues. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah, me too. So this is your first time on Reality Realness. Well, then welcome. Please do us a favor and subscribe right down over there. We are on our journey to 1,000 subscribers, and we can't do it without you. So interact with us in the chat because we are going to be going over the clues of the sneak peek episode that happened pre-season of the Masked Singer season 4. So I actually had never watched it. So it was new content for me.
Oh.
And then it also revealed, I believe, the 4 new Masked Singers that we haven't seen yet within the show. And so, or was it 4? Yeah, there's 4 of them.
Can I just say our numbers are so off because there is only 16. We talk about this every week. We're like 16. Wait, there's 18. There's like how many per week? And it's just there was only 16 characters.
Yes, because before though, I thought that there was not going to be another, like a group C.
Yeah, I know, me too.
So just from how they did it, it was just seems a little bit strange that they did like these semifinals or whatever on Group A and Group B, but then they hadn't even introduced Group C. So how are they going to eliminate a few people? So
you know what I think it is though? I think it's yeah, because they've been going back and forth for the first 4 episodes, like 1 week this group, the second week this group, then back to the first group, and then whatever. But I think there's only 5. I think there was 6. There was 6, 5, and 5. I think that's where we're at as far as new characters.
Isn't it 6, 6, and 4?
Because there's 5 new. There's 5 new one. 1, 2.
Okay, the new ones that
3, 4. There's 5 new ones this week.
Mushroom's new. Squiggly Monsters.
Yeah, Lips. Jellyfish. And broccoli. Yeah, 5.
So week 2 or Group B has 5?
One of them must have had 5, and then one of them had 6, and that makes 16.
Definitely Group 1 has 6, so.
Yeah, so week 2 must have only had 5.
Anyways, well, I guess we're just trying to make even math. Like, why didn't they just do like 4, 4, 4, 4? Like, they just said make 4 groups. Like,
I think last year they did. They had like even number of groups. I thought it was like 18 last year or something, but I was like, they're trying to trick us with these numbers, and they're like 16 cost, and I was like, who are the 16 select? I mean, whatever.
One thing though that I didn't enjoy about the sneak peek preview is that it actually showed pretty much all the people from the season before. So I hadn't watched it yet, but I was like, oh, I'll watch it soon. I was spoiled who the winner is, but I didn't know who any of the other celebrities were. So I was like, oh, I could still watch it. And then this episode pretty much just went through, a few of the people that were masked.
Yeah. I'm not going to say anything in case anyone's watching who hasn't seen it and they want to go back, but they did. They were like, and here's John Doe, who was the, dinosaur. And here's, yeah, they kept doing that. But I mean, I guess, if it's out and it's a new season, all is fair. They assume that you watched it. So
true.
Yeah.
But yeah, for me, I was just a little bit disappointed that it was spoiled. Like, I know that it's over. Like, if it's 24 hours after the episode, like, I think it's free reign to be spoiled. You know what I mean? But like, I just was like, I wasn't expecting on that show for them to reveal so many of those.
Yeah. What's your most, a little off topic, but what is your most spoiled, you couldn't believe it happened? This often happens in, like, I'll tell you mine, and I'll give you an example. So I was watching Mad TV and The Others had just come out. And if you haven't watched it, guys, it's 20 years old. I'm going to spoil it for you. But The Others had just come out, and they were doing a little skit where they're waiting in line talking, and people came out, and they're like, they're all dead. And I was like, I was with my cousin, and I'm like, that's not, I was going to go see that movie this weekend. That's not like real, right? And he had just seen it, and he's like, I can't believe they just put that on TV because no, it is real. Like that's what the secret is. And I was like, wow, the movie's in theaters. Like it was new. I'm shocked there wasn't a
So
lawsuit or something.
who was it that, like, it was Mad TV, you said?
It
So
was a
Mad,
Mad TV skit that was
okay.
exposing the whole secret to. It would kind of be like if you said at The Sixth Sense, you're like, he
That's
was dead the
not
whole time.
the Sixth Sense for like it was something like that. Like when I was watching it, like that was something that came to me as well. Like, but it might have just been because I had the influence of seeing something that alluded to like him being already passed on. So
yeah, no, I couldn't believe that was spoiled like in that way. And but that was like 2001 or something. So
I feel like I've been spoiled before when I just was like kind of annoyed. I feel like it's happened recently where I just was like, not that it's a big deal, but I just didn't feel like being spoiled. I feel like it's happened like within the last year. Have you been spoiled in the last year?
I have this habit of like, if I watch everything like live, that it could be a spoiler. So for that very reason, because I'm that person who will click on Twitter, click on something else, and someone will talk about it. So, and I hate it. And I tried one season of the challenge where I was like, I'm going to find out exactly what order. And it was the worst because that's half of the excitement for the challenge of me is like seeing where it goes, not kind of knowing who gets voted when. And it was the season that Cara Maria won. And I was like, oh, this is a big disappointment because I know the boot order, I know everything. So yeah, I try not to do it. I'm really
Yeah,
careful.
I've actually been kind of spoiled by The Masked Singer. I think we talked about it a little bit, but it's like I went to one of the channels to watch it, just like on like I don't know CTV or Fox, whatever, and like it had the picture of the person unmasked, and I was just about to go and watch that episode. I was like, oh, okay, well, I guess.
Or sometimes if you record another show, like if you record your shows and watch it, and then you want to watch the one
Yeah,
after it first, it
exactly.
kind of cuts off and you catch the end of the previous show that was on. So you're like, whatever it is, Survivor, like whatever it is, you're like,
Oh, that's what it was. Thank you. You reminded me. It was from Survivor. So I hadn't watched Survivor, the one where they had Extinction Island on. So I guess it was 2 seasons ago. And I hadn't watched the last episode. And so I was finding it on whatever, some sort of site. And it had it in like 3 parts or like two or 3 parts. So I watched the episode and then it's usually like the after show. And so when I clicked on the after show, it was just like, and the winner is blah, 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 blah. But like, it was
you didn't even have time to stop it. You're like, oh.
It was out of order though, or whatever. I don't know. It was confusing as to what I did wrong. But like, what I thought I clicked on was the episode, but it was like the after show, and then I don't know. Whatever it happened. It's like before I got to see how the last episode kind of got to the ending. It had like the announcement of the winner, and I was spoiled, and I just didn't watch it.
Yeah, it's I'm very aware of how things can get spoiled for me in my life, so I try to stay clear of it. But Mad TV, I'm still mad at you from 2001.
I love Mad TV though. That's a show that like I wouldn't mind seeing if they brought it back. But I don't know if people would be funny anymore.
I was more Mad TV than I was SNL. So yeah. I was like,
it was funnier.
Nicole Sullivan, there's Deborah Wilson, like those years, and like obviously Jordan Peele came from there, and Keegan-Michael Key and all that stuff.
That's why I know him. I couldn't figure out why I knew his face, and I was like, why do I know Jordan Peele?
Oh yeah, Jordan Peele was.
I couldn't figure it out.
TV.
He was very familiar, and I was just like, oh, I guess he's just been a celebrity for a long time, which is, I guess he has been, but I couldn't place it. I have to show you. Remind me to show you after this, or maybe we can watch it later on. There's a flight attendant skit that he does that is like probably one of the funniest things I've ever seen. And as a flight attendant, like you really get it. And I showed it to people like when we were on the plane, or whatever, and we were just like howling for like days. So it's very funny.
Is it from like Key and Peele, or what is it from? Oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't seen that, so that's great.
So let's get back to the main event here. So the first person that came up for this new show was Popcorn. So did you find any new clues about Popcorn that you didn't really know about before?
Yeah, so I did watch this preview before, but I rewatched it because I wasn't tracking the clues. And so this time around, there is it's always a tricky a part to it when they talk about kind of, you know, references to their costume, because you don't know if that has anything to do with them or if it's just something that they picked, so they're kind of being tongue in cheek with their, you know, costume and the semantics of it. But so I tried to focus on when they kind of said like, here's your first clue rather than everything all together. But you know, they did mention like watch my on-screen performance, like a lot of movie references, popcorn.
Mm-hmm.
But the first clue, you know, you saw, quick pause, you saw in the picture frame there was a green cow.
Yes, on the mirror. 3 bottles of
Hmm.
perfume.
There was, yes, perfume,
And that
and then there was like a, yeah, like a hand thing. Oh look, I'm like a model. Look at this. And so there was a hand, and then there was at some point like a card or something. I think maybe at the end of it that said directed by Popcorn, and I
yes.
was like, is Popcorn a director?
I know. I was curious about those things too. I don't know. I never noticed the pop of color that they had on the tongue, so I was wondering if that was like important. Like, does she have like something about her mouth or whatever? Because they were talking about how they painted like dazzling red.
Yeah,
They did
yeah.
mention the performance in 3D. So the 3Ds were divalicious, dynamic, and delightful. Yeah, I don't know. And like the fluorescent green cow on the mirror, I was like, what's happening? There was also clothes in the mirror, like in the picture. So it seems as though maybe
Yeah.
she's both an actor and a director. I don't know.
So here's the thing. Here's my idea with the green cow. If you think about aliens, okay, stay with me for a second. Stay with me. Aliens are green and they abduct cows. Like that's a thing, right? Like where people are like, you know, on TV or movies, whatever, you see them abduct cows. Like it was a thing.
Well, I think
And
you're actually thinking of the abducted cow from Baby Alien.
no, I just know in general, like it's a thing. It's been in many things. It's like a thing where like aliens will abduct. I mean, not less now, but I'm old. It's fine.
I
And so
find
And so, so I was like, okay, it made me think of aliens even more so. And then I was like, well, um, I don't have anywhere to go with that. But I was like,
I'm
you
with
know,
you.
maybe we can like connect that to like, I still think it's Gloria Gaynor. So I'm like, can we connect that to a song, something like that? I'm like, did Gloria Gaynor? And sometimes here's the thing. Actors direct the episodes they're in. They also become producers if you see kind of that's part of their deals if they're the series leads of something and whatnot. Not that Gloria is an actor or anything like that. I'm just saying that in general. So it could be someone who has directed an episode of something they've been in, or you know their own. Maybe they direct for fun. If you're in the entertainment industry, at usually speaking, in your you know a lot of actors direct, many people direct. So, you know, it could be something not super professional and just something that they've enjoyed. So I can't, I'm not looking for like, hey, is that like, you know, name a female famous director, but yeah. So I don't know. I was trying to look at past clues as well and piece it together. Um, and I mean, nothing really fit.
She said, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, what makes me the big miracle of all?" as well.
Yeah, because remember the first time in episode one, she had like fish with hoops, tiger, several city references. There was like the calves, like in the city and all that stuff.
Like Zoe
And it,
Zeldana and like an Avatar. Like I don't
you
know.
know, and there was like a New York accent, and then there was an apple with a bite of it. Like there's a lot of New York references in the first one. Um, but it seems like an older voice, and they even guessed like Tina Turner and stuff like that. So, and then the next episode we saw, there was like the Venus should bring you closer to her, but there was the Rubik's Cube. Oh, this is what I want to bring up too, by the way. I did my research like I said I would, and the Rubik's Cube and the hair crimper, although hair crimper popular in the mid 80s, were both invented in the 70s, which is when Gloria Gaynor released her song I Will Survive. Anyway, because she said I Will Survive is one of the clues in episode 3. So that is all 70s references because we were talking a little bit about that last time.
Did Gloria
Um,
Gaynor ever play like Snow White or anything like, for the Mirror, Mirror on the Wall? Or was she on like Miracle on 34th Street? Or like, you know what I mean? Like, is there any?
I'm like so unfamiliar with Gloria Gaynor outside of "I Will Survive" song that I don't know.
Phil
And
wants to interject. This is kind of before we got back into popcorn, but he says that Mo Collins and Michael McDonald, Lorraine and Stuart, Mad TV.
Stuart, no, leave me alone. Don't.
We should do a rewatch of that. That's
Remember? Oh my god, I love it. I watched every episode of Mad TV. It's great.
Back in the day, I had for sure. I was in high school.
And then we would go demonic on like a third person, like outside of his mom's, like, "Don't you touch me!" Like whatever. It's great. Loved it.
Phil, though, do you have any ideas of who Popcorn is, or can you make sense of any of these clues? You know, like I was thinking these clues would actually be quite useful, but we definitely both learned last week that the clues that are given are so far-fetched that like it's like, you know, so far to get to them. So I'm still a little bit reeling a little bit from, I don't even remember the name of the baby alien.
Mark something. And then I couldn't even piece, we'll talk about it today, but I couldn't even piece together his clue with what was given today. I was like, I don't even remember. Sanchez? Is that a thing? Mark Sanchez?
I mean, sounds good. Yeah, I think so. I think so.
Well, that was the real tell too, by the way, is that we know who some of these people are already, and trying to piece their clues together, you're like,
yeah,
you can see how far-fetched some of them are, right?
After the fact. Yeah. Okay. So Phil's guess here is Cyndi Lauper, and is possibly the Pride Flag, New York, 80s, crimped hair.
Does it sound like Cyndi though? I think Cyndi has such a distinct voice.
I can't remember what these people sound like anymore.
She sounds like an
older Black woman, absolutely.
Tina Turner, Gloria Gaynor, like to me. I mean, we've all been surprised, so who knows? But I think you know, Cyndi definitely fits, especially that first episode. You know, all those clues and whatnot. But what does she have to do with a green cow and perfume? And I've even I've watched her on a million things, but I can't piece it together.
Does Gloria Gaynor have a perfume line? Like, there's 3 of them. I mean, so it's interesting though that those didn't help us at all. But you know, one thing I have to say though, some of these clues they didn't give very much. You know, some people are just like, oh, just like this. I just wrote down like the sentence or whatever, like the actual clue. But they gave a lot more, and so I'm wondering why that is, because there's no chance that we're going to be able to guess who it is from. Like,
exactly, like it could be so kind of just, you know, information that most people don't even know about this person, and that's maybe the case. But anyway, it's well, we can see with this next. Are you ready to move on to the next one?
Yeah.
Because with the next one was Giraffe, and you know, we can see with this one exactly, we can piece this together. I mean, I was able to, and I'm sure you were as well. But Giraffe is 8 feet tall, as we know. Giraffe from fast forward.
Oh yeah, it's spoiler alert if you have not seen the most recent few episodes. We won't be spoiling anything moving forward because we do not know. It will only be speculation, but we will talk about the revealed Masked Singers up until week 4. So if you don't want to know that at this point for the well, there's going to be a reveal right now. So skip ahead if you don't want to hear this one.
Yeah, exactly. So the Giraffe is Brian Austin Green. And so the clues that I picked up on that it said were, the first clue was shares something in common with a powerful giant. So to me, now correct me if I'm wrong, but it looked like he was doing like a Godzilla thing, and I was like, okay, well that's Transformers. And I'm like, are you making another Megan Fox reference? It's like
not together anymore.
I was like, you're not together. That's awkward because the fox that you had, Wayne Brady's fox that you had from previous season in one of your other clips, is also a Megan Fox reference. I'm like, you keep referencing Megan Fox. That's like embarrassing.
Still together, maybe when they recorded this.
Yeah, I mean, you have to be on the outs, like if they were, because they split up during quarantine, and she went with
Machine Gun Kelly.
Machine Gun Kelly, and he's been seen on dates with certain people as well. But that was like, yeah. So I would be surprised. I don't know. I don't
Um,
know.
I didn't really notice those other clues, really, because his was a short package I found. And so you probably thought the same thing, but when he says something in common with a powerful giant, I thought of the jolly green giant. And so that's what I was thinking for the green portion of it. And
Oh, maybe. Oh, maybe. Oh, I think you're right. I'm wrong, probably.
what
Powerful giant. Jolly green giant. I was thinking like Transformers walking through the city like that, and I was like Megan, because I already had in my head Megan Fox. But you're probably, that makes more sense. Jolly green giant.
something in common with a powerful giant, green giant.
Yeah.
That's my thought. Interesting, we had a different thought there, though. I thought we both would get, oh yeah, green giant for sure. It's so funny.
No, I was just seeing that, and I was like, it looks like Godzilla, but then I was like, who's in that big? And I'm like, Transformers, Megan Fox. I'm gonna link everything to Megan Fox tonight. I'm not.
So speaking of green things, next up was broccoli. So broccoli says that they are moving from a side dish to a main course meal.
Yeah, so that, I mean, so this is our first time seeing broccoli, and we haven't seen broccoli sing, so it's really, we don't have that kind of, wait, what does their voice sound like? We don't have additional clues from other episodes. So this is a really tough one. I don't know if, I mean, that's an indicator that they're stepping, they're in someone else's shadows, so they're kind of stepping into their own. But they also referenced that the like lean, mean kind of, and this is where I got my six pack. But then he was like laughing, and I was like, is that a joke, or does he like? Is it someone who's really buff, who's like fit, and or is that like kind of not even a clue? If that is that the joke?
So
I don't know.
somebody that lost weight and now is skinny, and so once they lose weight, like they became like famous.
Yeah, it's weird. Oh, and I also wanted to bring up too, general note for everyone. It was very obvious, especially with some people that we already know who they are because they've been eliminated or whatnot, that the voices they weren't their voices. Not just altered, we're talking about. They got someone else like me to, yeah, exactly, and then alter them because the cadence, the even changing them, I'm like, not even close. No.
Well,
So
I think that they did it for this show. Because like the one that stood out for me the most, and I was even going to bring it up myself, was what's his name? What's it?
Dragon.
One. Oh, and the Dragon. Both Gremlin and Dragon were the two that they both have distinctive voices, and they both it was like a young boy for
Yeah.
for Gremlin.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, for sure. No, and like I agree with you on the show. It's their voice being altered, but yeah, here it was not. So don't be looking into that in case you are, because they're not using their altered voices. They're using someone else's altered voices. But yeah, that's all I got with broccoli because we don't really have much to go on. And I mean, could be literally anyone. We haven't heard them sing yet.
You don't even know if it's a female at this point.
I was trying to pay attention to, because they showed a lot of them kind of out of their costume, just with, and their bodies, and like, Mushroom's really tall and lean, and I was trying to see if, whatever I can gather from that. So
yeah, even with Popcorn, she was just wearing the mask, and so I was trying to like see like her body moving or whatever, and like I'm like, oh, I don't recognize the dance moves.
I'm like, those broad shoulders, where do I know them from? No, like it's so hard to tell.
I know who does that or whatever,
Yeah, I know.
Recognize it, but
we're looking into it like we're ever going to be able to tell, and we're not. But okay.
That's not true, though. I started getting good. Like the season 2, I got pretty good. I started being able to guess them, but I thought maybe they were more distinct. Like I knew who the winner was of season 2, like for sure. I was like, no doubt.
Oh yeah, some of the people you can tell for sure, but like not by just their body movements or how they like do some, this or whatever, because it's like someone be putting it on,
Shoot. Yeah, that's all I had for them.
But what did you think of the broccoli costume? Because we haven't talked about this yet.
I like all the costumes. I think that they're all just like interesting to look at. They obviously as well, there's tons of work that goes into them. So I'm very impressed by the labor that goes into these costumes. I would have liked maybe a little bit more, and maybe it was there and I just don't know who the person is, so I can't feed any new information into it. But it would be interesting if they could put some clues within people making these costumes. You know what I mean? Like just maybe a word of like why they put these jewels on or whatnot. I wanted more clues. I want more clues.
Yeah, because I still wonder how much say they have. Like, I know they wouldn't be dressing up in something that they don't want to be dressing up in, absolutely. But I wonder, and I'm sure it varies how much input they actually have into it. But because I'm like, who would want to be a broccoli?
Well, I think that they choose it with them because I feel like in season 2, somebody, it might have been Flower, discussed why she wanted to become Flower.
Yeah,
So,
I definitely, there's creative input for sure.
So I don't know if the show is like, got a good idea. How about broccoli? Broccoli. And then they sold them on like how to make broccoli fit with them as a person. You know what I mean? They're like,
yeah,
that can be broccoli. It could be a pitch session, and like they sell them on like this. Got this idea, man. I don't think
exactly.
that celebrity though sketched out broccoli and was like, this is it, this is me. But I love all the costumes. Like they're very cheesy and dorky and silly, and I like the fact that it lets these celebrities just be poking fun at themselves. Like they're wearing a really dumb costume, and they don't.
I want to wear that dumb costume,
right? But they don't look cool. You know what I mean? If anyone's too cool to go on the Masked Singer,
is who?
Type of people.
Oh yeah, no, exactly. No, you need to. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like, if I was ridiculously like famous, but like I only do like Oscar-winning movies or whatever, I've said this before, but I would absolutely want to do like the Masked Singer because I would want to like just a one-off. I'm not going to be hitting up all the
dancing
washed up. Yeah, like not all of them, but I mean, until I'm washed up. But but I would definitely want to do something like the Masked Singer. That really appeals to me.
So. I would do the Masked Singer. I would do Celebrity Big Brother. I'd do Dancing with the Stars. I don't know if I'd do all of them, but I would do.
Oh, I would do all of them, but I mean, later on in my career. But it's like right when at the height of my career, I would still do Masked Singer. Is what I'm saying. I just think it's fun because it's not you most of the time. It's you for like half a second. You know what I mean? So it's easier pill to swallow, perhaps.
I would also do the Surreal Life, and I would do I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here.
Oh, I would not do I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, but I would like punch someone and get kicked off set or something like that. But
you don't want to be like Spencer?
I don't think I could do Celebrity Big Brother either. Why? I'm not a celebrity. And second, I don't think I can do regular Big Brother. It's just too social for me. I'm just not there with it. It's just too kind of, you need your kind of getaways. Sorry, my dog's making the most noise ever in the world. He's decided to run around and take out everything out of his dog toy dish thing. But yeah, and it's kind of like it's a real struggle. So to be around people all the time, I mean, I don't think you can really appreciate it until you're actually in the house for Big Brother, exactly how draining that is and how on you are all the time, and simple things like you can't just shut off the lights and go to bed, or there's no breaks. So it's tough.
I hear you.
But speaking of costumes, the next one's one of my favorites.
Yeah, I loved it. It was so cool.
Even though it was like simple, we're talking about the Jellyfish.
Jellyfish, new costume, Group C.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, oh, it's all kind of like one color, and it seems like really simple and cheap. But then I'm like, wait, it's kind of amazing at the same time. And I was like, so I didn't know how I felt about it for a second. But then I was like, no, I really like it. And it's so smart because I think it's one of the lighter costumes. If I was going on, I would be like, I'm not going to be hot. Do not put me in like, Thingamajigs costume or, whatchamacallits or, Squiggly Monsters. I'm like, or Gremlins. I need something that's like breathable. Like it's
This
just,
reminded me
you
of
know.
something. Oh my goodness. So went to an art school, as you know, and one of like these high school performance things, I remember that it's so embarrassing that it was conceptualized. I don't remember what the whole concept was, but I had to dress up like I was a dancing hot dog. And I remember the costume was so hot. I mean, I guess it was a hot dog, but like I didn't enjoy that because I just like when I took off the costume, I was just like drenched in sweat. So,
I have a question.
yes.
Condiments.
I think that in real life,
No, that was on you.
I
Like
think it was
mustard, ketchup, relish. Like, what are
I
you?
think just
Onions.
those. I think just those three. I don't remember for sure, but I feel like it would be ketchup and mustard for sure, like 100%. And I feel like there was relish there too, but there wasn't any like onions or like
You
sour.
should have sent. You should have sent that in. You could have been in Mark Sanchez's Clue videos from last week. Should have sent it in.
I know. It'll be one of my clues, right?
Yeah.
On the Masked Singer, there's going to be somebody
Dancing hot dog.
Yes.
That sounds delicious.
I wouldn't mind having a hot dog right now, but I love Jellyfish's costume though. It was very pretty and elegant, and it moved, and I couldn't see if it was actually going to be iridescent, but if it is iridescent underneath those lights, I'll be really down with it. I am intrigued to see what the voice sounds like of this iridescent jelly. What were the clues though?
I almost got nothing, but it said like cold-blooded, flow with H2O. It made a lot of references to water,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, okay, but that's because you're a jellyfish, or are you a jellyfish because you have all these references to water in your own life as well? Yeah, cold-blooded.
Yeah, she talks about cold-blooded a lot. Having a warm and glowing flow of H2O. She's going from invertebrate to, wait, I wrote that wrong, so I don't know what it actually said. Invertebrate to something else. What did she say?
Oh, I didn't write that down because I was like,
Invertebrate. So I must have not written the other word that she's comparing herself to. But Mike, I had a guess though for this person.
what? We haven't even heard the jellyfish
I know,
sing.
but I had a guess, and it I think it would be fun. But Paula Abdul.
Okay, I mean, Paula has a very distinct voice, so I think once we hear jellyfish sing, maybe we can kind of.
Choose, you know what I mean? Like Paula Abdul is
Paula's
small.
Paula's also tiny. Did we see the jellyfish stand next to anyone, or?
No, but isn't Jellyfish the one with the platform shoes?
Yeah, I think you're right.
So I was thinking like, oh, because like Paula's small and get those platform shoes on to make her not dance in a recognizable way because she does have body movement that is recognizable.
And then what? Sir, how did the clues fit her?
Well, I was thinking like cold-hearted snake, look into his eyes. Uh-oh, he's been telling lies. So I was thinking that song was the first thing that popped up in my head, and then I felt that I saw like maybe a dance move of hers in costume, well, partially in costume, that seemed like it could be Paula Abdul-esque, and so popped into my head, and I'm going with it for now.
Okay, I'm going to guess. Joy Behar.
No, but maybe. Why? Make the clues fit.
You know, because she tells it as it is and is,
She was my favorite.
you know, I know she's my favorite too. I just wanted to be her. That's why it's not, but anyway. Yeah, I mean, we don't know much about the jellyfish, but I'm definitely looking forward to kind of seeing that next week. I think next week's a lot of fun costumes in general, and it's our first round with these people. So I'm like, let it be next week already. I was
very upset when I went because I was gonna watch it at 8, and I went to the channel and I think it was like football or something, and I was like, what? Or is it the presidential debate?
Yeah, it's been. I think it was baseball. Is that a
sport?
Baseball happens. I don't know. We don't know the sports, and I don't know the U.S. politics. So I mean, I don't watch either of them. So it was one of the other. Yeah,
I just
one
remember
or
seeing
the other.
things that weren't saying Masked Singer on like the lineup, and I was like, oh, like, I was so upset though. I was like, well, maybe it came on late. It was pushed to like 11, and it didn't come on. So
No, they're teasing us with our reveals for the last group, but
one thing though, I'm happy that I noticed that there was this sneak peek episode because I actually hadn't looked at it yet, and I thought it would still be decent enough content and new new information that it would satisfy a bit of our Masked Singer, you know.
yeah, because I think I didn't pay attention to it the first time, so it was nice to actually go back and like, and then now that we're a couple weeks in, to like really kind of try to piece them together. So it was good.
I did write down, "Aw, Ken is so cute." I think Ken is really cute. I really didn't. He annoyed me in the beginning of season 2, and now he's worn me down. He's my favorite.
Ken, yeah, I mean, I love all the judges, and I just think Ken is so funny. Like, it's astonishing to me how someone can be just like that, and then they go and do stand up, and they're a doctor, and then they completely change their life around when they're fully established. It's not like you hear some of these stories, and people are like, "Oh yeah, I was a doctor," and I'm like, "Yeah, you were okay in like medical school, and we're becoming it or whatever, or you have your doctorate degree in something else or whatever." But they weren't really. He was like a practicing doctor, and he completely at an older age changed his career around with small roles, but he's just so funny as a person, and
I
I'm
find
like,
it really funny at this point. Some people really can't stand him and find him really annoying. And I did in the beginning, but now I'm just kind of like, he's just so stupid.
no, I would like him. I laugh at even some of his like silly like little one-off comments. Like, he just had, I forget what he said, but he said something like, it was just I don't know what it was. It was like some sort of self-deprecating kind of little thing, and I was just like, he's really good at the timing and knowing kind of when to put that in there. So yeah, and I do like him a lot.
Yeah, his brand is, I like it. I would see his show. I support him. I haven't watched his other show yet. So what was it called again?
So you don't support him, but I haven't watched his other show. It's I don't know what it's called, but I do watch it. It's like, can you guess who's the real singer or
I
something
can
like
see
that?
your voice. Sorry, I wrote it down. I'm smart.
There you go. I can see your voice. Yeah.
I'm actually going to probably watch it over this weekend and catch up because I do want to see if I enjoy it.
It's a crapshoot. Like, I don't know anyone who, I feel like all their guesses, and I've watched several episodes, is always just like they base it off of whatever. They can't really tell. Sometimes they're like, oh, it's how they hold the mic, or it's how their jaw's moving, and they're often wrong. So I mean, it's difficult, but it is fun to guess. It's it's in the same vein as this. Yeah.
So Serpent is the next Masked Singer. So one of the clues that it has was swallow his competition whole, which I thought was interesting. So he's a competitive person.
Yes.
Then the other clue was, if you want to know how I instantly something.
Yeah,
something
came onto the scene or something like that. Instantly appeared is what it was.
Here was right. Here is the prescription. So there was a prescription on it. There it said far mask like ski, and then the number was 31118.
January 31st, 2018, perhaps. The same year that the Winter Olympics, and I was talking about Olympics last time.
Is that an actual date for the winter? Actually,
so the Winter Olympics, I don't know what day, they were in 2018, and I don't know what day they started, but I was talking about last time because this is the one that had the croissant and bacon medal. And where is he? Let me find him. I have my notes here. Whatchamacallit? Here somewhere. But this is the one that I thought was an Olympic. Here it is. Serpent, holding croissant with bacon. He had that $2 remaining, the $2 off, so the number 2 came up a lot. When he made it, he had a golden croissant medal, and you said he's competitive, right? And then, yeah, so that's what I still think it's like a Olympic person. I don't know if they're going for the gold or got the gold, but that's my thought.
When I looked at the Winter Olympics, for 2018. It started in February 8th. So
did something happen January 31st?
So let's look.
Was there the lighting of a torch or something? I don't know. I don't watch the Olympics either, guys. It's sports. Why are we doing sports all the time? I don't watch it.
31st.
Do they light it ahead of time? I don't know.
Well, there's a torch. That it could have been December 31st, 2008. Maybe that's a birthday. Okay, so what happened on this day?
Why December?
So making it, November 31st. Oh, there's no 31 days in November. Never mind.
No. I mean, it could be, like that could be a number for something else entirely. But I mean, it's, if you're looking at the date, which would seem like the most obvious, and they've had dates in the past like that before. It just seems like it would be month, day, year. What do they do in the US? Do they do month, day, year, or is that Canada?
I don't know. You like getting rid of the U, so I figured that you would be more knowledgeable on that.
I do get rid of the U. You're right. I'm a color COLOR.
Just looks so it just looks so stupid.
I love it. I love it. Why write something extra if you don't have to?
So important events on January. Oh, it doesn't even have it for that day. January.
I definitely need to like look into more kind of what, you know, gold medal. It just makes sense. It's like how, like you're telling me the Olympics started a week after this potential date. Like maybe he qualified for something. I don't know how it works. I don't know. Maybe that's when he flew. He appeared on the scene. What does that mean? Was he interviewing perhaps? But it's just so close to the Winter Olympics, and I already thought it was Winter Olympics. It's going to be like Billy Ray Cyrus or something. It's going to be nothing to do with it. But,
it's totally going to be here. It's National Backwards Day, January 31st, apparently. Phil, tell us who the Serpent is. Who do you think it is? Phil. Is it Martha? No. Yeah, it doesn't seem to have anything that's a clear event that happened on the 31st.
Okay. Well, I'm still going with a gold medalist, Olympic-ish person.
Like maybe it's like 3 gold medals, 4 silvers, and 8 bronze medals, or 3 silvers. Sorry, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or it could be like the date that I had my daughter or something. And you're like, I didn't even know you had kids because I don't know who you are, Mark Sanchez. I don't know you.
Do we know what the Serpent sounds like? I can't remember.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to, I mean, it's nothing very distinguishable that you're like, oh, that's, or distinct that you're like, you know, you're known for this with your voice.
Well, I said he was definitely going to be black.
I thought so as well.
He has a father, so maybe the father was in the same field as he is. So if it is somebody in the Olympics, like maybe his father was also an Olympic runner or something like that, passing the torch, type of a thinga.
Yeah, because he said last time, like when he burst through those gates in the car and he had that gold medal, he said something about like bursting through. And then this time it was, instantly appeared. So it was like very kind of like all these like abrupt references, like you were on the scene because of something. It almost seems like that's why I thought it was like an event or, you know.
Well, they also say, so, but maybe though with the description stuff, maybe him kind of like Ken Jeong was a doctor, was in a medical profession before he made it big in whatever his field is.
Yeah, very much.
Like so. Because remember it had like the medicine Caribbean sign and the medicine sign, and musicology.
Yeah, it's. And
Dad bought him a ticket towards his success.
Don't know.
I don't know. All right, well, we'll leave him alone, Serpent. Serpent has. Well, oh, I told you those the two guesses, but I didn't know who they were. So, well, I knew who one of them was. So, someone had guessed. Did I send it to you before?
Oh yeah, Michael B. Jordan for something.
Yeah, who was that for? Was it for Serpent?
Yeah. What did you say? Michael B. Jordan and who else? Can't recall.
Leslie Odom Jr., but I don't remember who it was for. Because I don't know who Leslie Odom Jr. is. Do you? I've heard the name, but I don't know who.
I've heard the name lots. Leslie Odom Jr. is a football. Leslie Odom Jr. Boxing. No, football. No.
Basketball?
Hey Google, who is Leslie Odom Jr.? Technology.
According to Wikipedia, Leslie Odom Jr. is an American actor and singer. He has performed on Broadway and in television and film, and has released 3 solo jazz albums.
Not sports at all.
Oh. Can you hear it? Can we play his voice singing something?
I don't know. Well, hey Google, show me a video of Leslie Odom Jr.
Here you go.
It's not gonna work. Google Home is better than Alexa, but it doesn't work.
Okay, so where did I put that? It's here. So we have Natalie, or sorry, I'm not wearing glasses. Not Natalie. Her name is Narelle. She thinks that whatchamacallit is Michael B. Jordan, and the Serpent is Leslie Odom Jr.
Leslie Odom Jr. for the Serpent.
And she said Super Bowl, so she said Serpent Leslie Odom Jr. Super Bowl. So was there a Super Bowl January 31st? Maybe that's when the Super Bowl happened.
Oh, that is a Super Bowl time.
Oh my God, I feel like a super sleuth right now.
Because I remember Survivor premiering after the Super Bowl in like early February or something. So that would definitely be Super Bowl-ish. But so then what does that have?
The halftime show?
What does that have to do with like golden croissants?
34th.
Golden croissants and bacon and stuff like that.
I don't know. Leslie Odom Jr. 2018. What happened to you?
I don't have my glasses on, so I can't see this far, but he didn't look familiar.
Oh, I don't know who he is at all, actually. Yeah, you're right. Is he in Hamilton? Oh, he is in Hamilton. Okay, I do recognize him from Hamilton.
I don't do theater.
He's a Broadway performer, so he's quite talented. I can't remember the voice of the Serpent right now. He is from New York. He went to a performing arts high school. He used to go to church. Sang many solos. He's an honors degree at Carnegie Mellon University.
Okay, so when he takes off his masks, no one's gonna know who he is, though.
I will know who he is now because I just looked at this photo. But he has a recording career.
I want more popular people than that, please.
Yes, please. Because I've seen Hamilton on my
when he made it, he had a golden. I haven't seen Hamilton because I turned it off. But is there any references to $2 remaining, $2 off, like the 2's in it, or a golden croissant, or like a golden medal, or
a golden? Let's see.
Childhood clue was a baby bottle. Get your wheels turning.
A lot of theater credits. She's been in Rent, Jersey Boys, Dreamgirls, Keep Your Pantheon, Being Alive, Once on the Island, Soul of Rogers, Leap of Faith, Vernica, Tick Tick Boom, Hamilton. They're all like and then he's been in film, so Scarecrow, Red Tails. Well, they're actually most of the things I don't know.
I don't know those.
Television, he's been in a bunch of stuff as well.
I need to know why this person thinks it's him.
Why does they say Super Bowl? Did he maybe perform in another Super Bowl? Let's see.
But a Super Bowl, you get a ring, right? So what does that? What does the Super Bowl have to do with any of the clues?
I don't know. Let's see. Oh, Leslie Odom sings "America the Beautiful" at the Super Bowl. Okay, let's listen to this for a second, okay?
Okay.
Hold on, let me show you.
Maybe you can probably pull up the Serpent too as well. Unless you want me to do it.
Share it. Our super sleuthing.
In celebration of our country, performing America the Beautiful with the Twin Cities on Angelica Cantante and Communication Youth Choirs.
Those shirts are ugly.
And Grammy Award-winning performer, Leslie Odom Jr.
Oh, he was really good in Hamilton. He was the best one.
For spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesties above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed His grace on me.
A little baby face sounding to me.
Like good with brotherhood, from sea to shining sea.
Okay, so softer.
Sorry, like I think it's good.
Can we find the Serpent singing though, and review that real quick? So it's very soft, very baby face-esque.
Well, now that I hear his voice, so I think that hopefully we'll be able to recognize him if he's the Serpent. Serpent, the Masked Singer.
It was almost like how Michael Jackson has that softness to him as well. There was like an essence of that in it.
Oh, somebody else. Well, there's like a post of someone like, is the Masked Singer Serpent Leslie Odom Jones? And they have evidence apparently. Yeah, I'm not gonna watch that. I'm gonna watch this maybe.
I thought we weren't going to.
No, I know. I'm not watching that. No.
My cats are sleeping, right? One. No, wait.
So when he's saying 5,000 miles, right? That was him. Isn't it?
Two.
Okay. Hold up. Wait a minute.
Do you want to know what he's saying? I can tell you what he's saying.
I got it. Oh, I got one of them.
When I wake up, when I go out, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who goes along with you. But I walk 500 miles, and I would walk 500 more, just to be the man who walked 1,000 miles to go down at your door.
I'm not convinced.
I'm not convinced either.
and I don't know anything about singing, so I don't know if like when you're with your full voice, when you were this or that, but it just sounded like there was a different, like they were coming from a different place, where this was the first one. Leslie was like, had this really delicate feature to it that was very controlled. I mean, they're both amazing singers, don't get me wrong, but this sounded a little huskier, like fuller for some reason.
I feel as though this voice sounds like an older person, like older than Leslie Odom Jones. So it seemed like it was a more mature voice. It was fuller. I mean, obviously you can play with your range and like your, you know, make it sound different. So they do have similar qualities in like the kind of the breathy raspiness of it, but I don't think it's the same person. I don't think it's the same person, but decent guess. Decent guess.
Yeah, definitely similar qualities for sure. And I mean, you can convince me that it is the same person if you're like, well, you can change up your voice that much. Like if I knew about, you know, singing
I mean,
that well.
you kind of can, but I feel as though when I listen to that voice, it sounds like somebody that I know. You know what I mean? It sounds like somebody else. I think I know the person that's the singer of the Serpent. I think I know who it is.
Who's a singer? He's a good singer. He's a singer for sure. That's like a real singer. But as far as the clues in this little clip, instantly, I don't know. I'm gonna have to look up that date. I'm gonna look up some singers and that, you know, I'm still gonna try to go with January 31st, 2018. See what happens.
Or what if you went, what is it? You could go like month, date, or month, day, year, and be like 3/11/18. So March 11th, 2018, maybe.
Could be.
Mhm.
Could be November 3rd, 2018.
Yeah. No, it couldn't be November. Yeah. It can be. Sorry. Like, remember I was saying before, I was thinking it'd have to be 31, but no, it could be the 3rd, of course. So we'll look up those dates and see if we find out anything interesting that will link us to whom it could be. They asked a few questions to the panel. They did ask them if they were stranded on a deserted island, who do they do not want, or what do they not want to be with them, or be with, or have with them? What would you say for yourself?
I skipped that part. What do they want with them or what they don't want with them?
This is don't want.
What wouldn't I want with me if I was deserted on an
Or
island?
stranded on a deserted island.
I wouldn't want. I would have to pick something that I wouldn't want. Gosh, I don't know. What did you say? I'll have to think of it.
I just wrote that down, but they said Ken. I would want Ken there. It made me laugh. I wouldn't want.
I mean, there's a bunch of people I wouldn't want with me.
I would
Or
say,
maybe I would want them because then they wouldn't.
so you can eat them. Have you ever played Who Would You Eat?
No. I did watch the movie, that airplane movie or whatever, where they all ate each other and based on true story.
Alive.
Yeah, Alive. Yeah, there you go.
I wouldn't bring someone that was pessimistic because like I don't really enjoy, like, unless they're very funny, I don't like complaining.
Okay, bye.
Yeah, you're funny at least when you're complaining. Come on.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I would probably be people if I was picking like what I don't want, because I don't think there's any items that I would like. Look at this one right here. It's too much right now.
Look at those eyes. You look like you're causing trouble over there, Rylan.
Yeah, he's causing trouble.
Excuse me?
This is what I deal with all the time. He's too much. He's too much. Now he's licking my notes, and it was in pencils, so it's being ruined.
Maybe he knows who the Serpent is.
Do you know? Is it you? Oh my gosh, it's him.
I mean, it's more familiar than Mark Sanchez.
He sings so beautiful. Oh, it's so beautiful. He's singing. Oh.
The other question that they asked each other was, if you were on The Masked Singer, what would you think would your costume be? So.
Oh gosh, I'm gonna say the wrong thing. I would like to reserve. I'm gonna say an answer, but I'd like to reserve, you know, to be changed at a later date. I would want to be. Oh gosh. what would I want to be? Something cool. Like I would think like, like yeah, like a seahorse, like a frog, but they've already done those. But you know what? I think I'd want to like throw everyone off and be a platypus.
Well, okay, so why would you be a platypus? Just because
Just because of this an Australian reference, and I have nothing to do with Australia.
you think that it would be
No, and then this would be my clue. So in grade 4, I had an exchange. No, I did. I had an exchange teacher, and so our Mrs. McCann went to Australia, and we had Miss, what's her name? I forget, but she was great. Loved her, but she was from Australia, so we did all of our projects about Australian things in
And
grade 4.
did it about the platypus?
I did have a project about the platypus, yeah.
Okay, so like your grade
And
four,
like Ayers Rock, and like I know a lot about Australia apparently, but from
I didn't
grade
know about
4.
Ayers Rock after because I heard it's very spiritual over there.
Yeah, but yeah, that would be the tie-in of like, well, in grade 4, my teacher was an exchange teacher.
I was being a little bit more literal. I wasn't being as like impossible to connect the clue as you were, but I would probably be like the water bearer. So if you've seen the water bearer, it's the symbol for Aquarius. I'm Aquarius and proud, and so it would be a nice costume and carry like a water bearer.
That would be nice because I think they could probably do a lot of really pretty stuff with that,
Yeah.
Yeah. I want good. That's the thing though. It's like I would actually want something that has like really pleasing I want to win. I'm not going into something to lose. So I'd want something that has like really some great like purples and blues and like calming colors that you just want to see on the screen more, so you're going to vote for. Something that's just really appealing to the eye.
Yes, my water bearer would be very appealing to the eye, and then maybe I'd get them to do the like a kind of like a constellation in the on the ceiling of it. So it'd be like you went to, what are they called, planetariums, and so just all like stars, and then just be me illuminated as the water bearer in the spotlight. Oh
yeah,
that's my concept.
We just need to get on the show and we're good.
Or maybe we need to do our like a makeshift version of it, like a homemade version of the Masked Singer. You'll be like, I don't know who they are.
I tried knitting over the COVID, and I've cast on to the thing, and that's it because I can't do it. So I'm not going to be making my own costumes. What?
I said it's pretty easy. What you should try doing is knitting with your arms. I think I told you about this, but you can get like really, really big, thick yarn, and you could cast on your arm, and then basically you just go like this, and like, you know what I mean, like you just go like that, and then you can just like, and then it'll be on this arm, and then you just go back the other way, and just go back, arm, and like honestly, in 45 minutes you can have a big scarf.
I was pretty confident in myself because I was picking out patterns that were like, yeah, I'm gonna make a shirt. What do you want? I was taking orders. I'm like, you want a hoodie? Got it.
Jonathan.
What do you want? Track pants? Done. And then no, I was like really confident. And then someone was like, I'll just take a scarf. I'm like, you know what? Maybe I should start with the scarf and then I'll order the rest because they're expensive. And then I started with the scarf, and it's this perfect, like beautiful mauve kind of sitting there because I can't do it. But maybe I'll start up again next pandemic. Who knows?
I'll teach you maybe what, like.
Yeah, I would. That's what I need actually. Is like, I'm so visual. I need someone being like, no, do this. This is what you're doing. And once I get the movements, because let me tell you,
same thing over and over again.
Yeah, I just need to get used to it. Like I did my first. This is going personal beyond Masked Singer, but I did my first TikTok this past week. It's not posted. Don't look. It's not posted. Because I'm in like an online org, and part of the challenge was to do this. And I started with the choreography, and I was like, back in the day, I took some hip hop classes like 15 years ago, and I'm like, oh, this should be fine. And I started doing it, and I was like, I can't dance. I can't dance at all. And then I just stuck with it, and then I'm like, oh, this is actually really easy. So it's just sticking to things and getting over that initial hump of like not being able to do stuff. Yeah, so I mean, it has nothing to do with the Masked Singer other than we're not making our own costumes. Or you can make mine if you want to.
I could try. I'm good. Like I love Halloween. Halloween's coming up. Are you a Halloweener?
Normally, yeah, I really like. They have a big thing by my house where everyone's on the street, and it's like a big parade almost, and so everyone's in great costumes, and I usually like walking up and down that whether I'm in a costume or not. And yeah, it's funny enough, last year, and I have it before any of this, I read a book last year that made me think of a plague doctor, and I was like, oh, that'd be a phenomenal costume. So I ordered the mask, and I
Yeah.
have the yeah, and then this happened, and now I'm like, I can't use that costume for at least 10 years because people will be like, give me looks.
You know what it is though. Remember
It's
you told me, and I'm like, I don't know what a plague doctor is, but I've seen the costume before, but I didn't know what it was.
Yeah, yeah, I think it's too on the nose right now, but it was a good idea last year too, but I didn't do anything with it. But
Yeah, last year was like prophetic. This year it's like has
yeah, but
been.
I do like going out and dressing up in a costume and seeing what you know. If you go on my Instagram, there is a Jonathan Oliveira 1983. There is a picture back from 2014, and I am mostly, it's missing my little overcoat with the tails, but it's like a my theme for, I did my own makeup. My theme for it was like woman in black, like that era, but like a dead person. Ignore my dog. Um, and so that's kind of what I was going with. But I do have a picture posted on that for my Instagram, which is not a private account.
Ooh, we're
Because
all
what am I hiding?
rushing over there right now. So back to the Masked Singer, guys. Sorry for our little. Well, no, it was still part of. It was on topic because we
We're
talked
talking about costumes, yes.
about. So Dragon was up next, and so what were the clues that you saw for Dragon? Because I didn't.
I just wrote down, I saw barely anything, and I wrote down stocks and bonds.
Yeah.
And what is, I'm like, I know, okay, spoiler again, spoiler
Spoiler.
alert, it's coming up. So we know who the dragon is. He's eliminated already. It's Busta Rhymes. And I'm like, what is stocks? Is that a song? Like, what does stocks and bonds have to do with him?
I had no idea. I thought you were gonna know.
I should know. I've had like all his albums. I was like, am I forgetting something or what's going on?
Did he
And
start
I
a
had,
company or anything?
what's that?
Did he start like a company or anything?
I mean, I know Busta for his music. I know him for, he was in Halloween H2O 20 years later. I mean, you know, I don't know him for anything that could have this reference. So, yeah, what a weird kind of initial clue that knowing the person, we still don't know how it fits.
Yeah, exactly. We know it's Busta Rhymes, so why do we not understand these clues? I mean, also he also said you want to pierce my protective armor. Is that maybe alluding to some of his costumes that he has worn in the past?
Yeah, maybe, or maybe he's just, you know, talking about how he's like a tough exterior, you know what I mean? Like he's a tough guy, right? So,
Right.
yeah, but I mean, that clue means nothing to me. So,
Zilch.
oh, yeah, even knowing who he is.
Lips next up, though. So Lips is somebody new that we're going to be introduced most likely next Wednesday. What did you think about Lips?
So much fun, and I think if you watch the clip, you can see kind of how the body is shaped outside of the lips and when she's wearing the black costume. Yeah, and it's not your necessarily generic kind of body figure. It was very kind of like, you know, a little broader, a little like shoulder heavy area, and it was just, you know, take a look. If you think ever know who it is when you see these things, take a look and see if back at that and see if the body matches up. There was
The
a
one thing
lot,
I said about Lips, I was like, maybe a man.
but then Lips was wearing a shirt with the words on it, and they were right in the area. It was curved. The words were curved, so I was like white words, and I saw it. So I was like, there's breasts, men can have breasts too.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just what tipped it off for me as a woman. And I would think, to me, I just picture like an older woman who is a little, you know, broader in the shoulders, a little sturdier perhaps. But and then like, kind of not hunched, but like just a shorter neck, like some people get. But I don't know. That was just me making up my thing in my head. I've never even heard this person sing. I have no idea. There was a Las Vegas reference. And the first clue was really kind of own who she is. What did I write? Own who she is.
My voice will go high, but my
dishes go deep or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
Deep dish? That means Chicago, maybe?
Dishes go deep. Deep dip dish Chicago. Maybe. Own who she is.
Like actual Chicago, like the movie musical?
It's Nicole Kidman, ladies and gentlemen.
It is Catherine Zeta-Jones. Queen Latifah.
I mean, if you, I would have to see how tall she is, but I mean, like it's more of like a Queen Latifah body, for sure, as opposed to the other ones that we just mentioned. But yeah, I mean, it's so hard when you don't hear them sing, and there's like barely any clue. It's like literally could be anybody. Love the costume.
And when you say it could also be like maybe that they are a rapper. And so like dishing out disses, like dish out like insults or whatever. So maybe that's the dishes that she goes deep. Like she's, rapper.
Oh, for sure. Like, you can like spit fire. And I think that was one of Buster's, kind of clues before too. So it was, yeah, absolutely. We'll see. Or it literally could be nothing. Got nothing to do with anything. And we'll go back and we're like, why did we even talk about this? This had nothing to do with, why did they say this? Stocks and bonds. What are you talking about? Like the same thing. But I can't wait. And we'll see who Lips is. Yeah, for sure.
So we got another new one, which was Squiggly Monsters. What do you think about Squiggly Monster?
I thought that this would be hot as heck to get in and I was like, I don't know why you did this, but they talked about a lot of appendages and he has hands to spare, hands to latch on to. There was a lot of that. So again, I was like, are these references just because the costume has all these additional hands? Who knows? Is it a guy? Is it a girl? I don't know. And because all the voices are fake. And I'm like, is it the Octomom? Is it Kate Gosling? Like, who is it? They have 8 children? I don't know.
Well, they did say a lovable wild child, so I don't think that that's going to be Kate Gosling, because I don't know if lovable would be part of the vernacular we would use to describe
Here's the thing. When people describe themselves, they say a bunch of things that aren't true. So, I mean, it's so hard to tell because you don't know how they view themselves. And but I agree. I mean, I don't know who it is at all.
There's a photo or an image of a dog with a birthday cake and a gift on a table. Okay, nothing. That's nothing to you.
Ryland's birthday's in January.
I mean, maybe that's it. Maybe you've seen Ryland, he's seen a birthday cake, and he's seen a present in his lifetime.
Yeah, it's like, what are you supposed to gather from that? I don't know. Famous dogs? Is there a little duo? It's the guy from Hudson and Rex.
No, it's what's his Milan? Caesar Milan.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Dog whisperer. No, I feel like it's a woman because I feel wild child is something that is a reference to female energy. I just don't see many
You
men.
think Squiggly Monster's a woman?
Well, not just by thinking about wild child. Like wild child, they called like Drew Barrymore was a wild child. They don't. I don't think they say that for men.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I don't know, for whatever reason, I just felt it was a guy, and then Lips I felt was a girl. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I really don't know who the Squiggly Monster is.
Well, because like you wouldn't really call like Justin Bieber a wild child, would you?
If they're legit, like under 18, I would call a guy or a girl a potential like wild child. This wild child star, blah blah blah, whatever. Yeah, it could be a guy or a girl. I mean, I think if it was an older adult, I think you're right. and you're referencing kind of their past or something, you would say this former wild child. Like I would probably,
I'd assume it was a girl.
I mean, but like look at like the two Corys. Like you would talk about them about like being a wild child or something like that. Like I don't
Like
know.
tortured soul, or I don't know. I mean, I could be wrong. Let us know, people. What do you think of Wild Child? Do you think that Squiggly Monster is a man or a woman, or identify as male or female? What do we think here? And about the appendages. So weird. Appendages.
And what a weird word. Like it's just such a weird. You didn't want to say hands 50 times, so you just talked about appendages. But again, the costume has it. So is it a costume reference that has something to do with Squiggly Monster, or is it a personal message that you maybe have your hands in a lot of different businesses and things like that? You're a Kardashian, maybe. I don't know.
No, I don't think they can sing any of them. It's
Can you
true.
imagine?
Oh my god, if it was Kris Jenner, that'd be amazing. So many kids, all these appendages.
Okay, so lips could be like a Kris Jenner type of body. Like that's what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Just backtracking to that. Yeah.
So next up, we have someone that we're a little more familiar with, the Sun. When they were introducing her, there's definitely all these hot air balloons in the background. So I was wondering if that was important. She says that she knows how to shine like a torch. So I was wondering if that is one of those Olympic references, or torch as in Statue of Liberty. Those are the only two potential references of a torch that I was thinking of. And she said even during the freezing winter, her identity will never dawn on you.
Yeah, and there was emphasis on dawn as well, like that when, and so, I mean, I was like, honestly, this isn't the person I'm sure, but I was like, what's her name? Michelle Trachtenberg, whatever. I was like, she played Dawn on Buffy. Can she sing? I don't know. But yeah, I have no idea. So, I mean, let's talk about the Sun before. Great singer. Someone who, has Burn Ugly Rumors, put Spider on the Hourglass, Into the Woods, Material Girl, Stirring a Witch's Pot, I wrote down. And Clue was a Magic 8-Ball. That was in episode 3.
Mm-hmm.
And then episode, I don't know where the other episode is. But yeah, I mean, I think I thought initially it was like Leanne Rimes type of a situation.
Right.
Here's the other one. Episode 1 was, Goldmember, Center of Universe, Planets, Deep Depression, Sprung into Existence, Fall into Depression, Frozen Winter. So it talked about Frozen again. Spring, Back to Life, Kiss Venus, had the Mickey Mouse image. Remember that silhouette with the world? And there was a cheetah in the background.
Mr. Childhood.
Yeah, so like Mickey Mouse person.
Going into the Woods, Ugly Rumors. So the Leanne Rimes was kind of interesting just because of like all the rumors when she was seemingly the other woman with Eddie Cibrian. And then I was thinking it was Carrie Underwood was my first guess on that one.
Like the sun is like a torch. So again, are you making a reference to just the sun itself, or, and then you're going to be unmasked and you're like, well, everyone tells me I have a sunny disposition. Like, you know what I mean? It's like,
what if it's like, it is Carrie Underwood and she like gave the torch for American Idol winner.
Freezing. They've talked about freezing winter twice now, like freezing and frozen.
Could she sang for like Disney on Ice, or like, I don't know, been Elsa for Halloween once? Does she have a child that wants to be Elsa? Was there a video that went viral of her daughter dressed up as Elsa?
Last Halloween, she was thinking about going out as Elsa, but then didn't. That's where the clue is from.
Exactly. I don't have any more help here.
No, I mean, it was a great kind of, non-definitive sort of clue about anything. I mean, it just talked about kind of stuff that they've talked about before. The dawn was an interesting thing. I do wonder if that's going to come into play at all. Dawn. I mean, dawn also has to do with like, the sun and, at dawn and whatnot, but I don't know. Nothing that makes me think one way or the other about anything.
Right.
Or confirms her death. What's her children's name? Does she have a daughter named Donna? I don't know.
Well, will be something I'll look up between this week and next week. Next up is whatchamacallit. He also didn't have very many clues from my watching of it. He saw the Ace of Hearts, and it said that some may say his career had a magical start.
Yeah, and it was on like fire or something. Yeah, magical. So it had that reference, but I was like, is it a magician or is it more of like, or were they in that movie, Isla Fisher, or is it more of a like, what was that movie called? Anyway,
Enchanted.
No, like that where they're the guy from Jesse Eisenberg was in it. There was a second one. Do you see me now? No, now you see me, now you don't. What was it called? There's two of them. There's literally a sequel, and they're all back in the sequel too. Anyway, now you see me, now you don't. No, something like that. But I was like, Ace of.
Thank you, Jonathan.
Ace of what did you say?
Ace of Hearts.
Ace of Hearts. That's right. And it was like on fire or smoky or something. And I'm like, I'm wondering if it's really magical. Like, let's just run with this for a second. You're thinking it makes you want to think magician. Too obvious. Let's go with the fact, like, what if they were a bachelorette type of situation and the magical love, like a moment, the hearts, like they, that kind of thing. Like, no. But I don't know. I don't know what the whatchamacallit is.
What that our chatting friend said that it was potentially Michael B. Jordan. So was he in maybe any TV shows that had like it's not?
Michael B. Jordan's not doing this. Sorry. It's not Michael B. Jordan. No.
Maybe it was like, like the Umbrella Academy, like that kind of, like those kind of magical kind of shows. Maybe it's something like that if it is Michael B. Jordan.
He's a movie actor, a famous movie actor now. So the whatchamacallit, what did we have before for clues? Let me see. I did Baby Aliens, whatchamacallit. Dancing, was it Dancing with the Stars guy?
Oh.
Yeah, the swinging from the keys, the candy bars, bees. He's let the others take the spotlight. I wrote athletic vibes before, but he was definitely mentioned Dancing with the Stars, or Mirrorball or whatever it was. And then I have Golden Stairs, the music sheet. He had the 10 cents times 5. That I was like, maybe there's a 50-cent reference. And he's doing like Ludacris, like Moneymaker, and he said he grew up with that song, right? And the clue was a book, and that's why I was like, maybe it was Meta World Peace because he's like an author, perhaps, because it said it was authored by him. So that's kind of where I got with it. But with this, I don't know, Ace of Diamond, like maybe it was on a, I don't know, magical start. Is there a basketball team called Magic?
Magic. There is Magic something. Magic.
There's Magic Johnson, but I'm not talking about him. But I don't know, right? Like the Magics.
What's it called? Magic basketball. Let's see. I can't remember.
You need to stop with these athletes.
I know. It's like we don't know.
We need a third person on.
There's Orlando Magic.
Okay, so is he on the Orlando Magic? Is that like Ace of Hearts? I don't know. Maybe what that has to do with it, but was there any here? someone cross-reference
Please.
Orlando Magic, Dancing with the Stars, and men who fit that, both of them. Cross-reference, let us know. Has Dancing with the Stars have any people who've been on Orlando's team? Who knows?
Do you have any other clues for him?
No, just talked about the brush and the wig, but like again, that's part of the costume too. So
I don't remember this person, but I think it's somebody. So there's someone named Clyde Austin, also known as The Glide. He was on season 4 of Dancing with the Stars. He is a basketball player. And
what teams has he played for?
Well, I put Magic in the thing, so I'm just assuming that Magic would be one of the things, but maybe not. Portland Trail, Houston Rockets. Okay, never mind. Sorry, that was just me getting excited without fully looking. No. Never mind whatchamacallit. Too challenging.
Anyway, there's things that we can look up, so we'll try to piece them together slowly as they come along. But Magical Start and Ace of Hearts on fire, so that's what I wrote. We'll see. We shall see. Now the next one's interesting though.
Yes, Crocodile. Crocodile we've seen a bit before, but they talk about tic-tac-toe and tic-tac-toe, I think they said.
Tic-tac-whoa. But also
Lawrence?
Yeah, I agree on Blossom, but also it's I still think it's Nick Carter, so I was just trying to fit these clues. But he said that he had a special set of keys that, what did I write? Reversed his game forever.
Mm-hmm.
So like musical key, I don't know.
Oh, Jonathan. Impressive.
But then I don't know like discography of Backstreet Boys and what they've. I mean, is there like a tic-tac? Like, is there a reference to a music video where they did tic-tac-toe, or like, is there a song, or is
about X's and O's in general? Maybe that has something to do with it.
Yeah, not that I'm aware of that there's any connection there, but the only thing, like, there was. I mean, yeah, I don't know what tic-tac has anything to do with a tic-tac-toe and tic-tac-whoa.
Neither. I don't know if I think it's well, maybe it is Nick Carter. I don't know.
What else did we say about Crocodile though? So there was an anchor, there was a mirror ball, so Dancing with the Stars as well.
Dancing with the Stars, right?
Dancing with the Stars, a hairspray can. They talked about the family reunion in 2014. The father was watching a 30 Croc on TV. The childhood clue was dolphins, a piñata with dolphins or a porpoise. There was also, what else do I have for the Crocodile? He talked about being happy in water, and he grew up in Hollywood. There was an Italian flag, a rainbow. There was a fish and a pineapple.
I'm going with Ken John here, and I think it's John Hamm.
John Hamm.
No, I'm kidding.
Can you imagine? Yeah, so those are the clues. Like Dancing with the Stars is a big one because that's like a finite, like it eliminates a bunch of people. I need like a full list of Dancing with the Stars people for all 90 seasons they've had, and then start going through them. Skull and Crossbones flag with an American flag. There was also the number 5, which again appears in someone else's clues for that round, but
we still didn't. Oh, he was the 5th draft pick on the 2009 NFL.
Was he? Is that what the thing? Is that what they said?
Yeah, he was the 5th, like the baby.
Oh, so that's where his 5 came from because they showed him a 5 this week. Yeah, but 5. There's also 5 for the Crocodile, and
Okay, well, I don't think we have anything else to give us anything definitive about anybody else. We do have Gremlin, and so definitely we realized that Gremlin's voice was not his voice, so it made it very apparent that everybody else was probably just somebody that they paid to do a voiceover. And I didn't feel as though I could guess the clues from what they said. What do you think?
Okay, so we know who Gremlin is. Spoiler
Well,
alert again. This is our last one, but it was Mickey Rourke. And they said about 66.5 degree temperature. And I looked it up, and that is, if you look up 66.5 degrees away from the equator or something, I don't know things, is the Antarctic Circle. It's an Antarctic Circle reference, as far as I got. But and then I'm like,
I
what
was
is
just
Mickey
thinking that
Rourke?
he's like 66 and a half years old.
And he's not, he's 68. I looked
Oh.
it up. And then I was like, what does the Antarctic Circle, because it's, if you type in 66.5, it Antarctic Circle, Antarctic Circle, Antarctic Circle. So I was like, what does that have to do with him? I tried to look up his movies and things like that. I'm like, it could be a reference to a role that he played once that you have to like know the movie. I don't know.
Yeah, was he in Tropic of or Arctic Circle? Was he on an Arctic movie? Let's see, Mickey Rourke's history. All right. But like, it's just so obscure.
I wish they, when they was revealed, they put that clue and
Wait,
said like,
no,
this is
how
the
many weeks is 9.5 weeks? So
What's
9 weeks. No, that's not enough. Because that would be 36, something like that, like closer to 30 to 40 weeks. Never mind. So the movies that he's been in have been like Diner, Rumblefish, The Pope of Greenwich Village, 9.5 Weeks, Barfly, Angel Heart, Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man, The Rainmaker, Buffalo 66. But what about the half? Get Carter, The Pledge, Spin, Once Upon a Time in Mexico, Man of Fire, Sin City, The Wrestler. It's pretty much the ones that have been noted on Wikipedia.
Yeah, I have no idea. I feel like they'll do like a, I feel like they do like a thing after the fact. So they'll still do more at the end of the year and they might talk about like piecing some of the clues together and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, it wasn't very obvious, definitely. And the temperature is cool, the coolest, yeah, 66.5 degrees. You won't believe your ears. Because he was that bad. Oh, there's another new guy. Okay, coming up next. I like this one too. Mushroom. Do you like the mushroom?
Yeah, I mean, I like the mushroom a lot. And this was someone who I thought was taller, lankier, kind of a situation. So, I mean, who knows? And really, the only clue that I really picked up on, obviously, was the most obvious one, which was about the many hats. But I mean, literally can be applied to anyone because you can, if you wear many hats, just it's a common saying. Like it's, you know, it's something that
What
you.
if it's though like Dennis Rodman, who used to actually literally wear many hats? So he was always had a different hat on.
Or wedding gown. When he got married to Carmen Electra. Yeah, it's. I mean, it's, we can take it more literally, and who wears a lot of hats, but I feel like I know better, and they're like being very vague, and it's just someone who's like, oh, it's the reference is because I'm a businessman and I do this and I do this, and so it's like I wear many hats around the house. And blah, blah, blah.
I get what you're saying, but I'm like, but let's just be literal. I'm gonna be literal. You're gonna be vague. That's gonna be our roles here. I'm gonna be like, well, it's gonna be this, and yes. And you're gonna be like, well, one day he had a dream of a hat and he wrote it down. You know,
We need opposing views. Yes, we need to have every side of it. So yeah, I think it's one of those ones where it's like, you know, sure, it can fit the person afterwards, maybe if they explain it to you, but I don't think they're telling us much here.
No.
Did you pick up anything else? That's all I wrote down was many hats.
Well,
and I paused and I looked at the hats and I'm like, those aren't like real, like, oh, one's of this, one's of that. Like, no. So it was, but I want to hear him sing.
Me too. Snow owls. They're so cute. I didn't really write down that much for them as well.
I have an interesting.
There was a joke, or like a quote that they said was "swoop, there it is." I was like, okay, but what was your theory?
So they said that if you're looking for whatever, they're tied for talent, and I was like, are they twins? Because we think they're brother and sister. I'm like, is there like a famous kind of, twins? Like, why would they say that they're tied for talent? Like they're equal, like they're the same. Like it's, and they talked about being birds of prey. Well, let's think of an A instead of an E. And I'm like, are they really religious? Are they like, is that a thing? Is there religious twins? Who can sing? I don't know.
That are super famous. There's also when they had them talking. They were talking beside a farmhouse. So I'm wondering if that's a reference to how they grew up.
Yeah, I wrote rural ? Because I feel like hold on, what were the clues before?
Exactly. They said, who is more talented? It's a tie.
Yeah.
It's a tie.
We've had Snow Owls, we've talked about Opportunity Fit for a Queen. There was the D in lights. There was the basketball with the DAL in it. There was the anchor with management with man underlined. They're there for each other. They had a witch's hat for a clue. I put they always have country themes, which again, this is what they had. So that was from that was episode 3. And then let me see here, what do we have? Episode 1, there was a pearl. They talked about a family reunion reuniting. There was a Jam-a-lot sign. There was he's a prankster, wise guy. There was that sign that said Magnolia and Coral Cannon. And there was Let It Snow, Christmas references. I wrote that they didn't sound young, and there's
Or I have no idea who they are.
Yeah, but they're like, Robin's like, Amy Grant and Vince Gill. I was like, I don't even know who those people are.
I know
So,
Grant is.
I mean, I've definitely heard of them, but I don't know who they are. And then, so it's like, I feel like it's older. I probably don't know who they are. They're probably like religious, Southern, and, maybe everyone thinks that they're twins, but they're.
I just wanted to still to be Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban. That's who I want.
Okay. I don't know how any of those food clues fit, but okay.
Just kidding. So last but not least, we have Seahorse. So Seahorse says living in the ocean can be dangerous.
We have 2 left. Baby Alien. We only like.
Oh, I just wrote down Baby Alien, and I wrote down look to the stars for Baby Alien.
Yeah, I just wrote. I mean, let's do Baby Alien first then. So Baby Alien was like, I literally wrote down 5 because it was look to the stars with a 5, and then we already talked about kind of
5. Like I wrote, it looked like a 5, but I was like, I wasn't sure what.
Yeah, it was a 5, so we already know about that.
Then it said he was the 5th draft pick in the NFL 2009 season.
Mark Sanchez, I believe, is the name, if I recall. And that was it. That's the only clue we really got for Baby Alien. And yeah, let's go back to Seahorse because you're talking about it. Yep.
Yes, the clue was good to find a quiet place to hide.
A quiet place. It's John.
What is
John? He directed it.
I need to know who somebody else is. Like, I need to hear a voice again. I need to see more clues. I guess it's all going to be new people, but like,
who was in A Quiet Place? And I can't imagine an actor from A Quiet Place is in this show.
I've never seen the movie.
A Quiet Place to Hide. Yeah, that's what I wrote down too. A Quiet Place. You've never seen A Quiet Place? Good.
No, I don't even know what it is.
Oh, it's what's his name? John Krasinski.
Oh, but that's the one that we think is
Office.
Jessica Simpson. The Chicken of the Sea and all that stuff, and then Being Fearless.
Who? Oh, the seahorse? Yeah, so seahorses previous were... Yeah, so why would she need a quiet place to hide? I don't understand that, but
Because she got so much backlash in the media and stuff like that.
so that's not a clue, because like so does everybody.
Yeah, I don't know. So you guys
Yeah,
have
that was also the sorry, the tea and poodles one too, right? So an emotion ocean, and I mean, I don't know. I still need more. I need another episode with everybody. I need one more.
And
One
Phil,
more
do you
episode.
have any? I think Phil, you're the only one hanging out with us right now. So Phil, it's all you. Who do you think the seahorse is? Do you have any ideas or clues that you figured out, or do you have any specific ideas for seahorse? I think it's Jessica Simpson still. I think what I'm going to do, I don't know if it's going to be too tedious, but I think I might write down all the clues for each person, like again. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Just so it's easy.
Have them together, yes. Yeah, it might help. I don't know. It's Phil's gone to the washroom. No, I don't. Yeah, I don't know. That really told me nothing. So, I mean, I think once we're like almost certain, then we can kind of go back to these and be like, hey, does that actually fit in with it? Having said that, I feel like I'm almost certain that it's Nick Carter, and that doesn't necessarily fit in those clues with the tic-tac-toe. But, you know, I need to do a little research still with that and see if I can fit the tic-tac-toe into Nick Carter. We'll see.
Well, do you have anything else you want to share, Jonathan? Any other research that you've done?
No, I think I mentioned it all already today, and yeah, I'll try to do a little bit more and see what we're thinking. Thanks for the input as far as Leslie Odom Jr. and Michael B. Jordan. I think Leslie Odom Jr. is closer, and it could be, but it did sound a little off to me. So,
Agreed.
but
Yes.
yeah, write
Just
down your guesses.
we do. I definitely like sleuthing through people's guesses and seeing whether or not I agree with those assessments. So if you guys have any ideas of people that you think that it is that we haven't mentioned yet, please let us know. We love this conversation. We love trying to figuring it out. And we know that we're probably dead wrong with all of them. I did pretty well season 2, but it seems so far that the ones that haven't been revealed, I definitely never knew. I knew, obviously, like you did too, Busta and Mickey. Oh, did we know it was Mickey Rourke? I can't remember.
Yeah.
We kind of, he took his mask off beforehand.
Took his mask off right away, but he knew, yeah.
But we knew. So yeah, we want to hear from you. We want to chat about this. It's such a silly show, but it's very fun just to talk about nonsensical costumes and people sitting in silly costumes. I like it.
Yeah, and tell us what your costume would be. I want to hear that. I want to have some good ideas.
Yes, Phil, what's your costume? What would it be? And I don't know if I asked you this yesterday, but what are you planning on doing for Halloween? These are the questions I want to know. Other than that, do you have anything going on right now, Jonathan, that you want people to maybe follow you at or see you in, or? Yeah.
No, I mean, I have a couple more secret projects that I'm excited about that I can't tell you about again this week. So that's, you know, the usual. No.
The huge.
You can't know. Sorry about it.
Well, I don't have anything going on other than trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. So if you haven't done so already, please, if you made it here anyways, please subscribe right down over there. It's like to the bottom left of Jonathan over there. Hit this like button if you like this video and ring the bell, please. So every time we go live, you will be notified that there is a new episode premiering. Final thoughts, Jonathan?
It's Nick Carter.
Yeah, right. I don't think it is anymore at all. Well, I never really did. But no, it's not.